Hello Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to your tarot reading here at the Intuitive Teacup. Please come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind, a desire to learn something, to better yourself. If the messages that come through don't resonate for you, feel free to push them aside. They may resonate for you at a later date. Sometimes tarot messages make more sense in the future, but trust your own intuition above all else. All that being said, let's try and get you some helpful, insightful messages here today in this reading. I love all this yellow. That feels very bright and cheery. One more card. And do remember, you are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. This is, of course, optional advice, guidance, and energy check-in. I don't know why, but I'm wanting to start here. The first message I kind of get, typically I start in the middle, and obviously we'll get there, but typically the first message I get with the Nine of Swords is anxiety, but I actually don't sense that this is on your end. I feel like someone feels like they really let you down. It could have been in a team dynamic or an interpersonal relationship of some kind, someone in your friendship group, your family, a romantic prospect. I'm sort of getting the idea of a lot of regret, and someone wishes they had acted differently or spoken up or said something. And it feels like they missed out on an opportunity with you. This could also be a business client of some kind, right? It's almost like they see you growing and thriving, and it's almost like I could have been part of that. Because, I don't know, with the Four of Wands coming in the center of the spread, I'm not sure you necessarily view this person or this entity in a similar fashion, but it's almost like they look back and they feel like they missed out on an opportunity because like you guys could have been a good pairing or a good team or something of the sort. Very interesting. And with the World, it's almost like something has come to a culmination or a completion. And so I'm not sure this is true, because typically with the Nine of Swords, it's a lot of false thoughts, false beliefs. You know, sometimes our perception is a little bit off because we're sinking into this negative, darker energy. Again, for most of you, this feels like something external to you, like another person. Through their eyes, I think with the World coming up, they see it as like it could never be again. Like, I screwed it up so badly, like there's no getting this person back. I don't know, for some of you, it could have been something like infidelity or, and I'm not saying we need to jump to conclusions, right? I feel like you would already kind of know if that was the case. I don't see that coming out of nowhere, especially with all this yellow. Like, things are pretty much illuminated here for us to see and understand quite clearly. If it's not something like that, again, it could be something in a workplace where, a teammate maybe, I don't know, they acted out of character or did something out of character, and they're feeling like they completely screwed it up, and that you're going to move on without them and they're going to lose the friendship or whatever it is. Or it's like you're going to, I'm hearing the word skyrocket. It's like you're going to benefit and completely forget about them or leave them in the lurch. Guys, I don't know what this is, but it feels dramatic. It feels like someone is really all up in their head about you and full of regret. With the Four of Wands, for a lot of you, it could have been a dating prospect. Possibly another fire sign, an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, maybe a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, possibly a Capricorn. I mean, to be honest, there's a lot of signs coming through here in this reading, but let's dig a little bit deeper. I'm going to try and go for a separate message here, and we'll see if this kind of feeds into that. But that's the first thing I got. In terms of how it's impacting you, I don't think the person is totally wrong in that. I do think you're looking to the future. I think you're looking at new prospects or new options, new candidates. And possibly, I'm sort of getting the idea of sniffing out a flame, or I'm literally seeing like a cigarette. And I almost take that as a metaphor, more or less, for like snuffing out a bad habit or a toxic partner or something that like we know it's not good for our health and our longevity and our long-term future. So it's like putting closure or a conclusion to it, or once and for all just kind of like snuffing it out. I don't know if that makes sense. Someone who maybe at one point they held you in high regard, or vice versa, you held them in high regard at one point, but it's like their true colors started to show, and you had to look elsewhere or move on. The thing is, I'm questioning about the whole like true colors. I do think this person maybe acted again out of character, but I don't necessarily sense that it's something that I don't know. I don't get malicious vibes. I see deep regret and deep sorrow here. For some of you, it felt like you were asking this person to commit to a greater level. and maybe they didn't know what to do, and so they just didn't give an answer, or they went cold on you, and so by default, whatever you thought you were building with them just kind of vaporized, with kind of this Neptune Pisces moon energy. It just kind of disappeared, and maybe that was unexpected, but it felt like you did a lot of heavy lifting to make this relationship work or make it compatible. It seems like you put in a lot of effort and had a plan and a vision for this, and it almost felt like it was for nothing. So a lot of you felt disheartened, but it's like you didn't let it show. It's something like you were really able to lean into more that like warrior spirit of like, this is a battle scar, and what doesn't kill me makes me stronger, and I'm going to keep pushing on. And I like it in that it's almost like if I found something that I thought was great, I have even more faith that there's something better out there for me. So even if at times you lean into like the sentimentality of, oh, what could have been, you're not nearly as distraught or sentimental as the other person is. If that resonates for some of you. And, you can always reverse the roles. There's definitely two energies kind of coming through in this reading speaking to me. There are two cards here, though, that are indicating like a final ending or a final chapter. So just to kind of wrap up this first message, I'm curious to know, for those who want reconciliation or want this to come together again, maybe that's for the cross watcher. There was definitely like a start to building something with the Three of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. And the thing is, it's earthy energy. So it's like this, it's like planting a seed and not giving it enough time and nurturing to actually like see it, to fruition, like to get the bloom or the blossom at the end of this process. It's almost like it was cut off too short. Because of someone's mistake. What was the mistake here? Like, why is this person in agony? Because I don't know if it was third party, or they, again, keeping their options open, not wanting to be exclusive. And do keep in mind, this can be talking about a business deal too, but I don't know. I do get sort of romance vibes for some of you. But yeah, maybe not wanting to settle down, liking sort of that freedom and that independence and not having to check in and hang out all the time. It's almost like they feared being suffocated, or they feared losing their freedom. Or feeling forced into making a decision that they weren't ready to make, very likely with the Two of Pentacles. The thing is, for what I see in the cards, Aries, you knew what you were offering. You knew that you were ready, and you knew what you wanted. And the fogginess or confusion of what you were getting back in return, it made it even more challenging. Bottom of the deck is Justice. So was there balance? Was there equilibrium in this relationship? Obviously, for a lot of you, there wasn't, and that was really hard to accept. But at one point in time, you saw this person as a good counterpart or a good equal. That's that 11-11, soulmate, but I use that term loosely in that I think you have a lot of soulmates out there. I don't think this is the one and only. And obviously you don't either, because a lot of you, it's like you're putting faith in the universe that, the next thing you catch in your net is going to be even better if you try not to linger on the negativity attached to what you went through, what this person put you through, et cetera, et cetera. I'm also getting like a timestamp of Libra season, which we're kind of at the end of. I think it becomes Scorpio season, I want to say, oh gosh, maybe like October 23rd-ish, depending on when you watch this. So something about this may reach some sort of light bulb moment or epiphany or something in Libra season where you start to recognize, I don't know, a multitude of different things. Maybe some of the messages here you're still kind of struggling with in terms of like acceptance. Others of you, it's possible this person may reach out to you in Libra season and try and reconnect. In terms of that, the compatibility for reconnection, I am getting strong endings. The World, the Ten of Wands, and the Death card are, I don't know, to me kind of say like we've reached the end of the road here. You meet people for a reason or a season, and sometimes both. This felt like a season. It felt like there were important lessons attached to this fated relationship for the both of you. And rather than looking at it as like, I'm the one who lost out, or, I'm the one who, had to like eat shit or, clean up the other person's mess, I would encourage you to try to be high vibe about it and look what you gained from this in terms of setting healthier boundaries or asking for what you need and what you want, being a good advocate for yourself, listening to your intuition and that those red flags or those feelings of, I'm sensing this person doesn't know what they want, or I'm sensing this person is growing distant, rather than ignoring it and sort of, there's a good word for it, not numbing, but denial, sort of. And I don't mean to be harsh or critical, but rather than always giving people the benefit of the doubt, maybe this was about protecting and preserving your energy to put it into an avenue or allocate it to an area, a person, a job, a business, that you did feel that mutual sense of balance and harmony and effort, right? Equal amounts of effort. It could indicate that this is with a Scorpio. So I will say, I was asking about reconciliation or this coming together again. That in itself, especially with these two cards, could indicate that if you're dealing with a Scorpio, it's likely you're going to hear from them again. And if that's the case, some of you may entertain taking them back or trying to work through the problems. Obviously, you need to stick to what's best for you. You need to honor, again, what's in your heart. But I will say, of all the signs in terms of like, can you come back correct? Can like, not just talk about the changes you make, but come back with changed behavior. In my humble opinion, I think Scorpio is more than capable of it because they themselves, their journey through life as a Scorpio is to transform. So perhaps this was a much needed wake up call and a message to your Scorpio that whatever this behavior was, it wasn't going to fly in your relationship. So it's possible they may come back for another try with you, and maybe they have learned their lessons. Maybe this is like graduating from the school of the hard knocks, or hard lessons that they've had to implement and go through that process of change and transformation to earn back the person that they really love. Just putting it out there. Others of you, again, I totally get some of you would never entertain taking this person back. That's fair. I don't know why the message is coming through then. I don't know. I don't know if there's closure knowing that this person feels like they missed out on a chance with you. But I also don't love the idea of you getting some sort of little tickle or little thrill out of the fact knowing that someone else is miserable without you, because that really plays into ego, right? And not the healthiest way to operate, but that is the message. The message is here. So then the Empress. So some of you may have a Taurus coming in. Again, more confirmations of Libra too. So it's possible that some of you Aries might be dealing with a Libra. Again, the Empress does indicate opportunities for growth and the harvest. She's frequently shown pregnant. So yeah, the idea of like development, growth, gestation, something coming into its own. It's interesting that those are polar opposites, Scorpio and Taurus, as well as Aries and Libra. So if you're dealing with those signs, I do think it's possible that if both parties are interested in it, you may be able to get this back together and give it a try anyway. Other zodiac signs, I don't know. I think the Empress is about, planting seeds elsewhere and nurturing and tending to those, quote unquote seeds or those crops and giving them, the best possible chance at life, for growth, et cetera, et cetera. For some of you, and this is a bit of a heavier message, so I apologize, but I do feel like it's important. For some of you, it's confirmation that what could have been a destruction in this relationship was possibly the idea of pregnancy, and it may or may not have been with a third party. It's also possible that someone here lost a child, and that really added a lot of strain and confusion to the couple or the, whatever this is. And that could have been sort of one of the pitfalls of these like deep feelings and emotions and resentment and grief and loss, and not being able to come together and work through it as a team, but rather letting those negative energies kind of fester inside of you, and then kind of exploding into like anger and tempers and things with your partner where, again, it just wasn't dealt with in a cathartic way that was high vibrational. Certainly your reaction was valid, right, if you went through some sort of traumatic experience like that. But again, there is a lesson tied to this, or I hate to say lesson because it sounds so like not demeaning, but essentially there's something to walk away from that you did learn from this experience that you can take with you in the future and utilize and implement and tap into in future relationships. It could be that some of you have a brand new Taurus or Libra coming into you. There could be a new Scorpio on the horizon. Again, Taurus, I'm getting those energies super strong. So those signs keep wanting to come back. It's possible that you're leaving behind a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. And possibly someone who had addiction issues as well, too. That could be sort of like, with this Nine of Swords, that anxiety or that fret of, I self-sabotaged again. I did the thing I said I wasn't going to do with Aries, and lo and behold, Aries up and left me. Like they said they would, if I went back to that person again, or if I, picked up the bottle again, or whatever it is. And I don't know how you guys are going to feel about this, but ultimately, part of me does feel, I don't know if it's pity or I feel empathy or sympathy for this person because they know that they effed up. There is remorse. I think there might be a little bit of pride and ego weighing into why they couldn't apologize to you directly or immediately. But those ideas and those thoughts of losing you forever are really starting to like, I don't know, those messages are being heard by this person, you know, from the universe or whatever. Maybe they're seeing you on social media. Maybe you're already in a new relationship and you're very happy. But yeah, part of me is like, this person knows they screwed up. And so it's not your responsibility to make them feel better about their mistake. That's not what I'm saying. But I guess it's like there is such a thing as karma. There is. And I do feel like some of you really did get the brunt of it. Like there was something kind of unfair that you had to go through, or maybe you were just completely blindsided by what happened. And it was just like, I could never look back. Like the damage has been done. I'm moving on. And with the death card, I would say that's probably the right move for the majority of you, is to move on and, you know, allow this next cycle of your life to bring in growth and abundance and you know, new prospects in dating or business or whatever this is. All right, let's do a couple oracle cards. I tried to get another message, but I think that's the one that wanted to come through, Aries. So I hope it resonates for some of you. I hope it helps. That's only my intention. And, you know, sometimes it won't be your message, but if you made it this far, something must resonate. All right, any message for Aries that wants to come out? It's funny, I almost called you Scorpio. Let's see. Let go of self-judgment and blame. This is from the Four Agreements deck. Be impeccable with your word. Being impeccable, you take responsibility for your actions, but you do not judge or blame yourself for anything. Interesting. And this one's kind of sneaking out. I'm curious to see what it says. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using words to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. I think that's important. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. And I'm going to put that next to the Empress because that just feels right. Look at those images. Abundance and beauty. Very Empress vibes. All right, Aries, thanks for joining me here today. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and I hope to see you very soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.